Pô, cara, tô me sentindo bem pra caramba. Eu falei que ia fazer essa parada parecer fácil. Nesse jogo tem nível e eu pra nesse nível mais alto. Eu falei isso. Falar antes da luta é fácil, difícil é demonstrar lá em cima como eu fiz hoje. E nada, só agradecer a toda a galera de Manaus, a galera que me apoia. Tamo junto, é nóis. Eu falei, vamos ver quem tá pronto de verdade amanhã à noite no octógono. E essa noite eu provei que eu sou o cara que tava pronto. You know, I mean, prepared a lot for this fight. I told whole week, I'm a common guy, but I mean, demonstrating the octagon. No, I tell you yesterday too, it's like this game heavy level. Tomorrow, today, I'm sure for everyone this game heavy level. I permanent in the high level, no? I told you, bro, it's like it's not for only talking. I told you this is easy money. In the weight yesterday, I told you it's easy money, not for the weight, it's for the fight. I told you for my money too. It's like 2 months ago, this guy offered the fight for me. It's like, okay, you sure you want to fight this guy? Yeah, this is the fight for you. Okay, so I told you, yeah, this is his fight for me.
Right after the fight, it looked like he maybe tried to punch you. What was going on there?
Yeah, it's like I'm surprised with this too. Like I feel the punch in my back of my head. I'm turning on. It's like he jump puts me in the back of my head. No, I don't understand for why. But it's okay. This is maybe the emotion, no, this time because this guy is a little bit hungry because this lost the fight, no. But it's okay. I feel good now. This is my moment. Like
good two from Jean. Misses the second one. Spinning elbow drops Jean bad. He's dropped bad. Diego's winging on him. Diego's winging on him at the end of round 2. Jean is sliced open bad by a spinning elbow. They're gonna step in. Round 2 TKO. Diego Lopes. There's a man from out west. There's a man from out west. Little early, little back of the head, but Jean was grabbing the cage the whole time. Wow.
I didn't expect Diego to look so dominant early. I thought, I knew Diego's chin will probably hold up, but I thought, Jean Silva might land big on him early and then maybe tire and then Diego maybe come in them later rounds or something like that. I didn't expect him to just grab a hold of him and just almost ragdoll him, And I don't mean that any disrespect to Jean Silva, but quite surprising how sort of easy it was for Diego to control him. And what happened in the second round when he started getting tagged, that's what I thought would happen in the early round, in the first round. I thought Jean would start landing big shots and things like that. I thought maybe Diego could have done a little bit more because he was like staying in the pocket, like right in firing range, but not firing, which surprised me.
Diego Lopes shared his thoughts about the Fighting Nerds team, saying every fighter is different, but noting that Jean Silva carried extra pressure as the only one from his team still in the UFC after their recent struggles. Diego suggested that this weight of expectation could have affected Silva's performance. Asked about the team, Diego replied, "I think everyone's different, but this guy had too much pressure on his back because he's the only guy from the team still standing. Maybe that pressure affected him in this fight."
Can I ask your opinion on the Fighting Nerds? Because everyone has an opinion on them. Last weekend, they didn't have a great weekend with Bohalio and Hufi. Is that any sort of indication as to what kind of a fighter he is, or is everyone different in your opinion?
I think everyone's different, no? Everyone's different, but this guy have the same style, no? It's like this. I think is now Jean have too much pressure on your back because the only guy in the team is staying on the field in the UFC. I think he have a lot of pressure, no? A lot of pressure. Maybe this is affecting him in this fight.
Jean Silva, meanwhile, warned that Diego Lopes had essentially signed his own death contract by calling him out. Speaking through a translator, Silva said Diego's words were like signing his coffin and promised to bury him. Diego basically signed on his coffin already. If that's what he wants, I'll just put some dirt on it.
Perhaps didn't want it either, but then Diego just went online and stuff and made some statements about the fact that he would fight me over the weekend if he could. So basically, Diego was doing matchmaking and basically signed on this coffin already. So screw that. I mean, That's it. I mean, he signed on it. So if that's what he wants to be, I'll just put some dirt on that coffin.
Dan Hooker predicted that the winner of Diego Lopes versus Jean Silva would get a title shot against Alexander Volkanovski. He explained that both fighters were exciting and made waves in the division. I feel like whoever gets their hand raised in this fight will be fighting for a title. Lopez moves the needle. Silva and the Fighting Nerds are doing an incredible job. The winner gets a title shot.
I feel like 100% whoever gets their hand raised in this fight will be fighting for a title because they're the most exciting guys. I hear Lopez moves the needle. I know Silva and the Fighting Nerds are doing an incredible job. Winner of this fight gets a title shot, and a lot of people will say, oh, there's some other guys out there. Murphy.
Jean Silva dismissed Diego's claim of having better striking, pointing out that Lopez must have missed his previous fights. All my opponents were taller and tried to fight far away. I got close to every one of them and they all went down. I guarantee I will knock him out.
Diego Lopez said, he said in an interview yesterday, he said, you know, I'm very comfortable when it comes to striking. What are you expecting? Do you expect Diego Lopez to move on the outside, or do you expect him to, you know, kind of hold true on his words and stand in the pocket and make this a pretty wild fight for the fans?
Bom, vamos lá. Acho que ele não andou assistindo minhas vitórias em cima dos meus últimos colegas. Se ele perceber, todos eles foram alto. Todos eles eu tive perto, e do Diego não vai ser diferente.
I guess Diego missed all my last fights. All my opponents were taller. All of them wanted to fight far away, not close to me. I got close to every one of them. I fought in close distance, close range, and they all went down.
E com tudo isso, a certeza que eu vou te dar é da minha vida inteira que eu vou nocautear ele.
What I'm telling you is, as sure as I am about anything that I've ever been certain in my entire life, is that I will knock him out.
Diego acknowledged Jean's impressive UFC run, but stressed that he never avoids tough matchups. I build my career by accepting fights. I never sit at home waiting for something comfortable. I like big challenges. Having John in front is a big challenge, but I'll prove myself against the best in the world.
He's been on a roll as of late. He's had a good start to his UFC career. Have you been impressed with what he's done?
Yeah, I built my career after the fight, you know? It's like I never sit down in my house for wait to one fight it's like comfortable for me, you know? I like the big challenge. I think now having Jean Silva in the front is a big challenge for me, but I prove and test myself with the best in the world.
Youssef Zal weighed in on the matchup, explaining its significance for the 145-pound title picture. He said if Diego won, someone like Lerone Murphy might get the next title shot. But if Jean Silva finished Diego, Zal believed Jean Silva was almost guaranteed the championship opportunity. If Diego wins, maybe Lerone Murphy gets the title shot. But if Jean Silva does what he says and finishes Diego, I think he's guaranteed the title shot.
Got the fight with Diego Lopez and Jean Silva. Big one in your division. Some people feel like maybe if Silva wins, that he might, you know, be close to a title shot. Who do you see winning that? Obviously, should mention that Diego Lopez is part of your management group. Gotta add that disclaimer in there.
No, see, you can't do that, dog. But no, man, I feel like if Diego wins, then what's his name? Lerone Murphy gets the title. But if Jean Silva, especially goes what he says, what he's gonna do, is finish this Diego, I think he's guaranteed the title shot. I think they're gonna say, Lerone, see you later. Jean Silva gets it.
Aiden Ross predicted that if the fight went the distance, Diego would win. But if there was a stoppage, Silva would secure the knockout. If it goes the distance, Diego wins. If there's a stoppage, TKO or knockout, Jean gets it. He almost beat Volk. That was the fight of the year.
Guys, if it goes the distance, Diego wins. If there's a stoppage of any sort, TKO, knockout, Jean, definitely. I'm telling you guys, the safe bet is distance Diego or Jean KO. I'm telling you. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you. I swear that's the one of the, what are the odds on that? He's coming up a loss from Volk. Guys, he almost beat Volk. I know you guys are gonna be on my ass. That was the fight of the year. He almost beat Volk. He almost beat Volk. Knockout. You know he did. You know he did. Guys, are you clip farming? Okay, no, I'm not. How am I wrong?
Heavyweight Curtis Blades picked Diego, noting his reach advantage. They both like to scrap. It's going to be a war, but I can see someone getting a finish because they're both so aggressive. I think Silva gets caught.
I'll go with Diego because he's longer. They both like to scrap. It's going to be a war, but in this one, I can see I might get a finish just because they're so offensively aggressive, and they're all right with not being as tight on their defense. I think someone's going to get caught just in this exchange, and I think it'll be Silva.
Michael Keesaw also backed Diego, praising his ferocity and resilience. I'm a big Lopez fan. He can match Silva's intensity. He's got an incredible chin and is incredibly tough. After his loss to Movsar, he turned into a totally different animal. I think he's hungry to get back into the title picture. I see Diego winning.
Ooh, man! God dang, that's a fight. That's a fighter's fight. Man, I'm a big Lopez fan, and it's not just the mullet. I'm a big fan of his work. He's gonna test Jean Silva, but I think that I just think the ferocity that Diego Lopez brings to the octagon, he can match the ferocity that Jean Silva brings to the octagon. He will meet him in the middle. He's got an incredible chin. He's incredibly tough, and I think it's one of those situations where Diego Lopez grows leaps and bounds when he comes up short. We saw what happened after he lost to Movsar Evloev. He turned into just a totally different animal, and in 2 years got himself into a title fight against Alex Volkanovski in a very, very close fight. I think he's going to be really hungry to get back into the title picture. I see Diego Lopez getting the win.
Combat sports analyst Nick Barnhill praised Diego's durability, but singled out Silva for his unique skills. Silva uses opponents' pressure to escape and take the back, very John Jones-like. He might be the best fighting nerd with the best chance to win a UFC title first.
Lopez is a great fighter. He's durable. He knows how to fight. He knows how to return fire. But Jean Silva is one of those guys who I don't know if you're going to find somebody who can move quite like him. He was working this one technique that was so cool. It was on if somebody were to basically change levels, shoot in, and tie you up against the cage. So naturally what you do is you get sideways sort of in a sprinter stance, lower your base, get nice and heavy, try to lift them up to your waistline if you can. So what he was doing in that situation, he would make sure that the arms were separated from behind him so they don't have a grasp of him, but they have him sort of by both sides. And what he's doing is using their pressure to backflip out above them and then take their back.
I need to see that.
There's the evolution of this game that we're talking about. I just think that Jean Silva is one of those guys who mentally, like John Jones, can just come up with something on the spot, and it's the perfect technique for the scenario. And maybe we don't even have a name for it, right? We don't even know what it's called. Jean Silva to me feels like the best fighting nerd and the one that has the chance to win the belt first, but I do think we see a few fighting nerds get the belts.
Elijah Smith liked both fighters, but leaned toward Diego getting back on track. He must stay composed and avoid coming straight at Silva, who's a dangerous counter-striker with real power. Diego should mix head, body, and leg attacks and use his wrestling and grappling. I want to see how Silva performs in the later rounds.
I love Diego Lopez. I love Jean Silva. But I would like to see Diego Lopez get back on a win.
Do you think he does it though? I know you said you wanted to see him get back on track, but do you think he does it?
I think he does.
Okay.
I think he does. If he stays within himself and not get too wild, because Jean Silva, he's a really good counter. He's really good at countering and just throwing wild stuff. So I just wouldn't want Diego to come at him on a straight line, kind of like the Charles Oliveira and Ilia Topuria. Because Jean Silva does have power. He does have a lot of power. So I would like to see him, attack from head, body, legs, like all over. I would like to see him diverse his strikes, and implement that his wrestling and grappling. Because they're both really good grapplers. But I would like to see I want to see what Jean Silva looks like in the later round.
Jeff Neal said it was a tough matchup and could go either way. They're both talented. I get why Silva is the favorite, but it should be even.
Oh no, that's a good one. That's one of those ones I'm just gonna have to watch and see because I like them both. You know what I mean? They're both cool guys and they both are real talented. I just don't know how it's going to translate whenever they fight each other.
Okay, well let me ask you this: Jean Silva's the favorite. Do you think that's correct, or should Diego Lopez be the favorite in that fight?
Actually, I feel like it should be even.
There you go.
But I mean, given like the body of work, I guess I can see why John Silva's the favorite.
UFC middleweight Eric Anders favored Diego. He's a wild fighter with a strong submission game and fearless striking that can create openings, but I still give Diego the edge.
I'm gonna go with Diego. You know, he's a wild fighter. I guess so is Jean, but you know, he's got a really good submission game. You know, he's fearless with the striking. Kind of reckless, so that could be like an issue for.
Billy Goff also picked Diego. If he fights smart and doesn't chase the finish, he can outstrike and dominate Silva.
I gotta rock with Diego Lopez. I wanted Diego to beat both, but he fought just not very. He fought like very stubborn. I mean, he was chasing that finish. And it's so easy to get locked in that mode. But if he fights like that against Jean Silva, I think that'll be a problem. But if the regular Diego shows up, I think he's gonna beat Jean Silva.
UFC lightweight Diego Ferreira admired Lopez but chose Silva. I'm a big fan of Diego, but Silva's been great lately, so I'll go with him.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Diego Lopes now, but I think right now I'm gonna go with Jean Silva. Jean Silva, he's been really, you know, a great fighter right now. But you know, I think I'm gonna go with Silva.
UFC featherweight Myron Santos believed Diego had the edge. He's a more complete MMA fighter with dynamite in his hands and a unique skill set.
Oh, that's a tough fight. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Diego. Diego, I think he has all the tools. He's more like he's a better MMA fighter. Of course, like John, he's very dangerous on the feet, but Diego, he has like dynamite on his hands, and he's just different. I'm gonna go with Diego.
UFC light heavyweight Johnny Walker said it could be either a technical battle or an all-out war. It's going to be a very good fight because both guys are high level.
It's going to be a very tough fight. Both guys very high level. I have no idea what's going to happen there, but it's going to be a very good high level fight because both guys is very good level, no? The fight can be very boring because they can too good to fight, you know, or can be very crazy, and it's a very good, like you have a lot to expect from this fight, you know, because both guys are high level, you know.
Light heavyweight Midiostas Bichkov backed Diego. Jean Silva is an incredible fighter, but Diego's tight boxing and strong jiu-jitsu make it hard for Silva to impose his game.
Oh, Diego Lopez. Jean Silva is another incredible fighter. He's been on an absolute tear. He's been very exciting to watch. You know, always brings it, but so does Diego Lopez. And I really like his box. He's got a very tight boxing style, got very good jiu-jitsu. I just feel that type of style will be hard for Jean Silva, so Diego Lopez, definitely.
Eric McConaughey called the matchup electrifying. Diego keeps a relentless pace, while Silva manages range well. Slight edge to Diego.
Bro, that's gonna be electrifying, man. That's a really hard pick because Diego's such a gamer. You know, he can keep that pace for so long with so many punches, and Jean Silva is really good with range management. I feel like that whole entire group is really good with range management. You know, it's gonna be entertaining. I can't wait to watch that one.
Who would you give the edge to, though?
I'll say Diego just because he's from Meridian.
Gage Young highlighted Diego's size and aggressive style. Diego is a big featherweight, super aggressive, and with Team Iridium. I give the edge to Diego.
Oh, that's a tough one. I didn't even know that got matched up. Jean Silva's been on a tear recently. Diego Lopez is just so big, and you know, he's just a big 45er. He's super aggressive, and he's Team Iridium, so we're going to go with Diego Lopez.
That's it for today's video. What are your thoughts on the fight's outcome? Share your opinions in the comments, and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video.